your soul to me, Dark One. Okay, this is my first writing on here, so please don't hurt me if it sucks. And this part probably will suck, because it's gonna be boring the first chapter, I guess you could call it. I hope you get to laugh out of it eventually, even if it's laughing at my stupidity of writing this. LOL! Disclaimer, this is from the movie The Ring, so I didn't make it up and I don't own it. I also don't own Mars or the Moon, but I wish I did. Sitting on the bus, my teeth felt like they were about to rattle out of my gums. The bus ride became very bumpy, and I noticed a lot of the kids that stood up and were obnoxious for the 2 days it took to drive to Washington seemed to be super glued to their seats, as if they were in a fetal position to save themselves from certain death. We were facing certain death, since the bus driver almost got us in a few car crashes, and almost ran over an old lady. He also hit the clearance pole while he decided that he wanted a Big Mac at McDonald's, but never asked us if we wanted some. Selfish little bastard, huh? Well, it's not like I would want a quart of ponder. I am a vegetarian. But what about the noisy hyper kids in the front of the bus who decided to play bus football and hit me in the head with a huge Nerf ball on accident? Oh, screw them. My nose hurt for 2 hours after that happened. I knew I was reaching the point of insanity. I was on this bus for 2 days, and every 2 hours we would hit a rest stop for a while, but I can't stand long trips. Why did I come then? I don't know. We spend a month in a remote cabin resort in Washington with our classmates a week after school's out. Damn it! There was no reason in doing this. At least 6 of my friends came with me. Amanda, my friend who was sitting with me, was napping on my shoulder. I never noticed until I felt the drool on my shirt. After that, I pushed her off and she woke up. Hey, she protested. Sorry, I replied, but you drooled on my orange shirt. Hey, look, my friend Ali exclaimed, who was behind our seat. We're almost there. We saw a sign that said Shelter Mountain Inn, 2 miles north. Yes, I screamed. We're almost there. Everyone on the bus looked back at me as I shrieked. Sorry. They returned to their conversations with one another. My friend Kelsey, who was sitting with Ali, laughed. Kim's a little happy to be off the bus. I can't stand really long trips like this. I swear, I'm about to hit my head on this window. The bus bounced off the road and my head hit the window. Kim cracked. Ali laughed. Ha ha ha. I can't believe we made it without someone being injured. What are you talking about? The deer on the road after we got out of St. Paul's wasn't injured. It's sitting on the side of the road headless, I exclaimed. Kim, you really need to stop being an animal rights tree hugger. Next thing we know, you'll be running around here naked, Ali said sarcastically. I like to be free, I laughed. All of a sudden, the bus stopped. We were finally there. The kids stood up, ready to fly out of the door and run around the cabin resort like a bunch of 10th graders who spent 2 days riding a bus from Minnesota to Washington for the stupid trip. Now that I think about it, we were. How ironic. Hold it, a teacher from the front of the bus yelled. I'm going to tell you all the rules before we get off. A rush of awe went through the crowd of kids on the bus as we suffered through the 10 minutes of rules, basically saying that no boys can go into any of the girls' cabins and vice versa. I'm going to name off the kids in each cabin and their cabin number, the teacher finally said, and he started naming off the cabin numbers. The kids called started getting off the bus and going to their cabins. My friend and I were the last people called. Okay, and the last cabin, cabin 12, has Courtney, Ali, Amanda, Emily, Lindsay, Kelsey, and Kim in it. We ran off the bus. Unfortunately, the weather started to get bad, and once we were off the bus, it started downpouring, getting my orange shirt that not only had a drool spot from Amanda, but now was soaked with rain. The cabins looked old. Moss covered the almost rotting wood, and my face turned into an interesting expression as I studied the cabins. I noticed our cabin was the farthest away from the bus, and was farther away than any of the other cabins. Our cabin is a loner, I said, laughing. Nobody really cared what I said at that moment. They were too busy worrying about catching a cold or something like that. Or maybe it was a stupid comment. Yeah, I think it was the second one. My friend ran into our cabin and we stared at the inside. There were no decorations on the wall and it looked very boring and ugly. The furnishings looked like they were new in the 70s. The TV looked like a flying saucer had landed on a table. This is going to be interesting, I said. Oh yes, it would.